It's spending the money without me spending it so that it's not in my account for me to spend on irrelevant stuff. I don't know if that makes sense.
It's time to cosplay as a person who has their shit together. What?
Welcome to a late start of my day. It's currently 2:57. I just showered, worked out everything, basically did my whole morning routine. I did get up at 6, which is so weird that now it's the time that I'm finishing my morning routine. But I had one of those mornings, you know, where the first thing you do is pick up your phone and check TikTok. That's what happened this morning. So I ended up checking TikTok and wasting time until 12. Here we are now. I'm pretty excited about today's video because today's video is going to be about what I spent in a month, specifically the month of February, as a frugal 30-something-year-old. Now, I went through my expenses already, and let me just say I'm disappointed. But first, I need to make a smoothie because I'm hungry, and yeah, I haven't been eating my greens, and I want to be more mindful about what I put in my body. I like using this superfood teamy blend every time I'm not having migraines. It's just a superfood blend with matcha, spirulina, and wheatgrass. If you want to get yourself one, I have a discount code. I'll leave it on the screen and in the description box down below. It has a very strong smell, so I don't put a lot. Cheers. Oh my god, I cannot get over how busting this smoothie is. I don't know if I mentioned, but this is the second time I'm recording this video, and hopefully this is the last time because I've recorded about 4 videos now and I do not like how I look because my side hair is going nuts. Hopefully by this week I find a solution. I was going through my expenses for the month of February and I noticed a couple of things that I believe might be helpful to someone out there. One thing I did realize, and I'm going to say it straight off the bat, is that my expenses are affecting or were affecting my lifestyle, because if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I've been struggling a lot with procrastination and all that stuff, and I've just been in that negative mental space. But as I was going through my expenses, I realized what was causing it, and we're going to discuss that in just a minute, because trust me, this too might be affecting you and yet you're spending a lot of your money on it. In my previous financial and expense videos, I shared with you guys the fact that every time I get my salary, my payment for the month, I give myself an allowance. I take off all the necessities and put some money aside for my rainy day fund. After that, I give myself an allowance, and that allowance is the money I use to take myself on trips, to do my hair, to furnish my apartment, to buy food, the daily basics. So let me start by showing you how I track my expenses throughout the month. I use the 90-day Be Your Own Babe journal. Of course, shameless plug, I created this journal. It's an all-round lifestyle journal. I'm going to leave the link to it in the description box down below. Definitely get yourself one if you're interested. But there is this page. This page is basically an expense page where I write down all my expenses. Every time I have an expense during the month and I don't feel like going back to my computer and inputting everything on a daily basis, when I spend something, I write it down, and at the end write down if it's a need and a want. As I was writing all these things down, I noticed how much I spend on wants than needs. Of course, because my needs are one-time payment and everything else comes after. Now, after writing down everything, of course, my journal is not going to do the math for me. It does not do the budgeting for me. It just helps me track my expenses. Again, in the previous videos, I've shared with you all these Excel sheets that I'm looking at right now and sharing with you guys. I also did share with you how I budget in those videos. So for reference, you can go back and check those videos. I'll leave them linked above and in the description box down below. Right, at the beginning of every month, the first thing that I always make payment for is rent, without fail, because you know what, I'm not going to sleep on the street. So rent, which is $1,200, the metro, which is the bus and train system for transportation. I do not drive. It's $90.50 a month, unlimited. I can go any corner of Montreal and I do not need another pass. That one pass can take me anywhere. It's not like I'm going so many places. I actually believe that if I paid for it on a daily basis, it would be cheaper, but I pay for it like this for convenience. I do not want to be stuck somewhere and then I have to go to the metro, buy a metro pass and all them things. Them all carry coins around. No. I'm going to skip over a bunch of stuff because it's not important. Like I spent $3.50 again on the first because I had to take the bus in order for me to go to the metro, to pay for the metro pass. And that is why every beginning of the month I have to pay that $3.50 to take me to the metro and reload the card for the month. I wonder if there is an online way to reload it. I need to find out because that shit crazy. On the second, I bought wine, which I categorize as fun with friends. I like to categorize different things so that at the end of the month I know how much I've spent on a certain category, like Uber, eating out, fun with friends, all them things and all my other extracurricular activities. So I got some skip the dishes. I took an Uber because the bus left me. I bought beer every other day. Now this is where the problem began. I noticed that every other day I'm buying a beer, and the beer I buy is like the strong kind of beer. One beer like this is enough to knock you out. So every other day I was buying a beer, meaning I was waking up feeling groggy, hence me dragging myself, not feeling inspired. When I'm not feeling inspired, I don't feel good in my skin because I'm not working out. I was just like, ugh, for the whole month of February. And then it took me in this negative mental space. I started to miss my dad so much, and that whole missing my dad took a whole week. I was just down for a very long time. For those of you that do not know, I just lost my dad 5 months ago, and it's just very difficult to heal, let me tell you. I don't know how long it takes, but it just hits you every now and then. Anyway, sometimes you want to be more productive, especially if you are in the creative world. For us, people that are very creative and we have to create content and we rely on creativity to do stuff, we should not be taking things that kind of put us in, can I call it a low vibration? Because I was in a very low vibration, and on top of that I used plant medicine. So imagine the combination of those two things. Of course, it put me in a very negative mental space, and that led me to the conclusion that for the month of March it's going to be a dry month. Well, by dry month I mean I'm not going to buy any drinks of my own, but if my friends invite me out and there's drinks, I'll definitely have some. I actually do have a concert on the 18th, so I'll probably be having drinks then. However, I'm more mindful now that I'm aware of my habits, and I'm going to do better. Now, the next thing I spent money on that cost a lot of money. On the 10th, I spent, every once in a while I invest in cryptocurrency, and it's not that serious kind of investing, guys. Don't even take my advice because it's not the right advice, but I put about $20 aside every week. Every time I feel like I have extra cash, it's not guaranteed a particular time. Listen, I know myself, and I'm typically the kind of person that's going to spend money on drinks, going out, getting some plant medicine, etc., name it, all the irrelevant stuff. So instead of spending my money on all these irrelevant things, how about I take it somewhere where it's going to compound? Yes, it might lose value, but it will still be there. I won't lose it forever. Also, there is a chance that it might go up and I will make a lot of money. So instead of me watching it every day, I take it like an expense that has gone out of my account. However, it's my own other savings mechanism, which we'll talk about another day if it's working out for me, that is. Then of course on the 12th I bought, oops, I almost dropped my laptop. I bought my projector. You guys, I love this projector so much because you know what, I live in a studio apartment. I told you guys this in the previous video where I did a studio apartment tour, that if you have a TV, it kind of takes away all the space. It takes the space for creativity. I don't like the space to look like, oh, that's what it looks like. It's stagnant. With a projector, I can project it on any wall in my house, and because I don't have any artwork, it's completely white. It suits every spot in my house, and that's just it. It was a very good investment, which was $247.18, but it was a good one because I have become more productive. Instead of using my laptop to watch Netflix and edit videos, now I can watch Netflix on my projector and edit videos on my computer without feeling like, you know, when you want to finish a show and you're stuck watching it, but if you're watching it somewhere and it's playing in the background, you can do other things. Yeah, so it was a very good investment for me. I also started paying for Google space, which is strange. As a content creator, I take up so much space and capacity, like with videos and everything. So I bought more space on Google. That is a new expense that I'm having in my spendings. On the 22nd, I went out to buy some candles because I wanted to record a video, which was my night routine. And I did record the video. However, when I was editing it, I felt like I looked terrible because, again, my hair, and I've gained weight and I'm just not comfortable looking at myself. I'm just like, ew. Anyway, the candle was expensive. It's not that big actually. Where is it? It smells really good though. Here is the candle. It's $12.49, but it came up to $14.94 plus tax. It smells really good. It's mahogany something. I got it from what is it called? Winners. It's really nice. It smells so good, but it is damn expensive. Anyway, it's one candle. I want to widen my candle collection. However, I have to do it one step at a time because candles are not cheap, man. Another significant expense, I would say, and it's not that significant, I also put aside $100 for my personal stuff. For example, if I have to contribute money. I come from an African family, and as Africans, we're community based. So if your friend is getting married, if there is something, we contribute a lot for each other. And my sister is getting married, so her bachelorette party is coming up. I contributed for that too. It's not that much. It's $22. So yeah, sorry, it's $41. In Ugandan money, it's about 108,000. It's not that much, but you know how you're in a group chat and there is like 40 people and everyone contributes that amount of money. You know, it adds up. I don't know if you guys have that where you come from, but we have it where I come from, and I actually really like it. So let us go to the summary because I didn't want to go through each and everything one by one. I wanted to go through the highlights. Now for the summary. Of course, like I told you, you can go back to the previous videos and see how I do this, but basically I budget at the beginning of the month, and my plan is always to use $4,000 every month, but I ended up spending $2,150 for the month of February, and half of that, or actually, if I'm not mistaken, 75% of that is needs, rent, transportation, in-house insurance, all that stuff. The only thing, as you can see here, I set a budget for myself, and if I pass the budget, it goes in negative and it turns red. The things that I spent over is moving stuff. I always give myself a budget. Since I moved of $200, I spent $247, and yeah, so I'm over my budget by $47. But as you can see, I did not go over any of my budgets. The next thing I went over was fun with friends. Like I said, I had a lot of drinks, and because I was drinking a lot, I normally give myself a budget of $100 every month to go out and do whatever, all that stuff. So yeah, I spent $122. I went $22 over. Eating out, instead of $100, I spent $53. And another thing that takes a lot of my money that I'm proud of is Uber. Instead of spending $50, which is my budget, I reduced it all the way from $100 because that shit is silly. It's dumb. Yet I have a Metro card. So Uber, I spent $25 instead of $50. That is so good. I'm so proud of myself. If you watched my last expense video, you know why I'm saying this, because damn, in 1 week I spent about $100 on Uber, if I'm not mistaken. I might be exaggerating, but it's something like that. I feel like I rambled a lot, but the whole point of this video was to encourage you to track your expenses, because sometimes you never know, your expenses might be holding you back. And tracking your expenses, budgeting, all this stuff, it just helps you be more comfortable. Do you know how many people live their lives without knowing where money is going to come from? And just if you took the initiative to track your expenses, you can see how much you are wasting money on random stuff that you can actually put aside to do other things. Which brings me to my last thing that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Koho, because again, I don't even think I wanted to talk about it, just because I was wrapping this up and I talked about saving for other things. So what I normally use to save is this app called Koho. It's an online bank. I've told you guys about it several times, but I love Koho. I'm going to leave a link down below if you want to check it out. I don't know if it's for the whole world, but if you're in Canada, you can definitely try it out. I think even in the States. It's an online bank that doesn't have a bank fee. When you apply, they send you the card, and they don't have bank charges, number one. Number two, for every money you spend, you get cash back. Number three, you can start all these mini savings accounts for things that you are looking forward to. I found that that's the best way for me to save. I don't know why. So right now I have a bunch of stuff that I want to do, like I told you in the previous video. Is it the previous video? I don't know. Yeah, it is the previous video, because I was telling you how to furnish the house, how you can furnish your house on a budget. I have all these accounts. By the way, they've increased. I want to do braids, so I started a braids fund, $250 for my birthday. So before my birthday, I started a fund that every week it takes out maybe $10, $5. By the time my birthday gets here, at least I'll have half the amount, and all I have to take is from my expense account and just top up. So it's spending the money without me spending it, so that it's not in my account for me to spend on irrelevant stuff. I don't know if that makes sense. And I really love that so much. I want to do something for my birthday. I started a birthday fund. I want to do driving school. I started a fashion fund where I want to change my whole closet. I told you guys. So I started saving the money for me to buy new outfits, instead of when it's time to buy outfits, I'm just like, oh my god, I don't have money. Of course, I don't act like that, but you know what I mean. Like, you're overwhelmed and all that because you feel like everything is too expensive. You start planning ahead. Same as my projector. This projector, I started saving for it last year in October, so every week it's been taking money away from me. I don't even notice that that money is being taken away from me because it's like $5, $10 in all these different accounts. And before you know it, when the time comes to do the things you need to do, there is some money. At least there is a place you can start. You know, I really like this method, at least for me. Let me know in the comment section down below if you will try it. So that's the third reason why I love Coho. The fourth reason is another saving thing that I like so much. I don't know if you guys can see this here. It has this thing called roundups. So basically what roundups is, now in the past 2 weeks I have my roundups at $9, but that's because I haven't been spending a lot. But if you're one of those people that use your card a lot, every time you spend, you can round it off to the nearest something, to the nearest 1, to the nearest 2, to the nearest 3. I round it off to the nearest 2. So every time you buy something, it adds $2 in the expenses, which you don't notice because, yeah, you just spend something, and at the end of the month or at the end of every 2 weeks, whenever you get paid, you have extra money that you did not even notice that you had. These little things make me love Coco so much, and that is why I use it as my expense account, because I get money back. And imagine, the money I get back is the money that can actually pay back my main account's bank charges. So technically I'm not paying any bank charges, but I am. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh my god, it went on forever. It's been an hour and I'm rambling. As always, do not forget to stay motivated, be patient, trust the process, and spread the love. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.